So here we are at Brewdog in Liverpool for the official St Helens Media Day to launch the 2026 Betfred Super League. Lots of drinks, lots of food, lots of conversation with some of their new signings. Super League Raw is going to be in the building. Time to get to work. Follow me. So here we are at the St Helens Media launch day, and our first interviewee is going to be Nene MacDonald, a face that everybody will know. Nene, how are you?
Yeah, good, thanks, mate. Excited to jump on Super League Raw and start watching these every Tuesday.
Absolutely, a great place to start. And of course, following Paul to Saints, was that a big factor in going to Saints that Paul was at the helm?
Yeah, well, there was obviously a few teams interested, and I was back and forth with a few, and then I think having him before, knowing he probably coaches me the best. He gets the best out of me, and I think that was the final factor. But also, when I first came to England, Saints was the club to be at. It was the biggest club. They were winning everything, and I had a lot of respect for the club. So, and I was excited to go to a big club this time. I didn't want to go to a small club and chase the money. I wanted to go to a club where I could chase trophies.
Fantastic. And of course, you know, you can play pretty much any position in the back line. And looking at the squad this year, it's all on for those places, isn't it?
Yeah. This is. I feel like I'm playing NRL again. It feels like we got depth everywhere. I feel like if we have an injury, there's a quality player ready to step up. Whereas obviously at Salford we didn't have the personnel, and if we had an injury, it's tough to fill the spot. But here I feel like whatever gets thrown at us, we're going to be coming strong this year.
And of course, played against Castleford yesterday. What was that like, going out with the Saints jersey on for the first time in front of the home fans?
Yeah, that was exciting. I was saying the other day with our media guy Tom that it was good being alongside a Saints team and watching them fly at the line and not flying at me this time, and being a part of that. It makes my job a lot easier, and it was exciting playing in front of those fans and not getting obviously yelled at anymore now, getting yelled for. So it was exciting.
And of course, you know, let's be fair, you know, you're a seasoned pro now, you've done many years. How many years in professional rugby is this now for you?
A few now, 10 plus.
10 plus. And of course, you know, in the centre positions is young Harry Robertson, who everybody in Super League is excited about. He's still only young. Is a part of your role this year as well to impart your knowledge on those younger players so that they can have as long and as successful a career as you've had? Yeah,
obviously he's got all the talent, he's got all the skill set, he's got everything you need, but now he's just got to get that learning. Like when you're young, you're understanding the game more and more and building a game IQ on how things unfold, and I get to be part of that, which is exciting, and watching him at training and trying to guide him on things to come in and out of and when to inject himself. And yeah, he's the world's his oyster at the moment, and I'm excited for how he's going to go this year.
And of course, on his outside is young Owen Dagnall, who emerged last year. I mean, before you actually signed for the club, you know, the likes of Dagnall, Noah Stevens, George Whitby, there's, you know, a lot of good young players on the way through at Saints. Was you aware of them, and were you aware of how promising they actually were before you saw them in training?
Yeah. Well, I watched them play, and I've obviously played against some of them boys, and the thing with playing like against them is you get a brief understanding of how they play, but when you're with them every day and seeing what they're capable of, like each and every day, then you go, wow, he's going to be unbelievable soon. Like, get to see what them boys put in the effort and things they do at training that people don't get to see every week, and the hard work they put in as well shows why they got to where they are as well.
And in terms of your position, like I say, you can play anywhere across the back line. What is your preferred position then? Where would you want to be played if it was up to you?
Yeah, Rolls always asked me that question, and I've said this my whole career. I just love playing, and I'll play anywhere. And I probably don't have a spot. I play left or right. I'll play in the forwards if I needed to be.
Front row?
I'll play front row. Chuck me over. I played a game last year. I played lock for Salford, so I'll play anywhere the team needs me. And if the team needs me off the bench, if the team needs me in the front row, I'll put my hand up. But my favorite, if I had to pick my favorite position, it'd be fullback. Just the willingness to be everywhere in the field and roam around. And I've sort of got the green light anyway with roles allowing me to go left and right. So yeah, I like that position.
Yeah, we noticed that when you were partnering Tim Lafay at Salford, there was times where you double up on the edges. That was a tactic that was well enforced by Salford. Could we see a little bit of that this year, where you're doubling up with the likes of Harry or Mark, depending on who you're playing alongside? Yeah,
it depends on playing alongside, but I'll be linking up with whoever my centre partner is and trying to pull them to my side as well. And yeah, when you got obviously young Harry is capable of a lot, and then you put me and him together, it's exciting. So we'll see how the year unfolds.
And it's all on now for the round one of Super League, going over to Warrington. Obviously, you've played against Warrington many times, but not in a Saints shirt. That is going to be a very fiery game that you're about to get into there. The crowd is always incredible at Warrington against Saints. Are you looking forward to that? What a great start for you.
Yeah, I can't wait. I love playing these big games. I love playing finals games. I love the game, so I love... The bigger the game, the more I want to play. So I'm excited for that, and obviously a bigger club, so a lot more pressure, which I love to represent and do my best performance.
Well, when you sit down at 8 o'clock every Tuesday going forward and watch Super League Raw, you'll notice that actually what we do is we celebrate the whole game, all clubs. We're not club biased. Yeah. And speaking on behalf of people who watch us, you've given us a lot of enjoyment over the years in Super League.
Yeah, appreciate that.
We hope that you do as well this year as well. Go well.
Yeah, yeah.
Hopefully we'll catch up as the season goes on. Nene MacDonald, thank you very much indeed.
Cheers. Thanks for that.
Cheers. So here we are with a face everybody knows in the Betfred Super League, Joe Shorrocks. Joe, St Helens, did you ever think, as a man who's donned the cherry and white, that one day you'd wear the red V?
No, definitely not. I never in a million years did I think, when I played for Wigan, that I'd be on the other side of Bill and Jill playing for Saints. No.
Looking forward to it, going back over the other side of the hill?
Yeah, I can't wait. Like I say, I've got loads of friends still that play for Wigan, so yeah, I can't wait to rip in against them.
Hot reception, I'm sure, guaranteed on that one. Before we actually started rolling, I did remind Joe that, and the Lafers out there will remember this, you went to Lee on loan from Wigan, yeah, and you scored against your new employers in what was a famous win for the Lee Leopards. Probably don't want to remind the Saints fans about that, do you, Joe?
No, I don't want to bring anything up about past performances against Saints. I want them to like me, not hate me. So.
Absolutely. Now, look, you're following Paul, over the Saints. So you're very used to Paul's motivation, Paul's way of playing. As somebody who has played for Paul, and of course his philosophy going into a new club, you'll be aware of that. How have the lads took to Paul's coaching methods and style and what he wants to achieve this year?
No, everyone's bought in really well. They've got behind it 100%. It took a bit at the start. Obviously, people are thinking, "Oh, why are we throwing the ball about here?" But that's the brand of rugby he likes to play. Obviously. And it's hard to defend against. Obviously, Saints will know firsthand how hard it is to play against Salford. So, yeah, it can only be a good thing of Rolls' style of rugby. Obviously, like I say, it's hard to play against. So, and obviously, he believes in it, and obviously, we all do now. So, no, everyone's got behind him 100%.
Got a good record at the Brewdog Stadium, Paul, in pre-season friendlies. That's 2 from 2. Yeah. Just saying. Anyway. But no, I mean, look, Salford's a great example, isn't it? Because we had Nene earlier, and we were saying that he does like to strike from anywhere on the field, and the Tim Lafay and MacDonald days, the amount of tries that came 20, 30 metres off their own line, yeah. And at Saints they've got that personnel again, the likes of Robertson, Nene still there, that pace, that blistering pace to do it again, only this time at Saints. Yeah,
like I say, we've got a load of strike players in Harry. He's only going to get better and better, and obviously you know what Nene can do. So like I say, we've had a review today about the Cass game, and he was actually going. He weren't best pleased that we hadn't actually pulled the trigger and tried to play a bit more than we actually did. So yeah, obviously he's into us about playing all over the pitch, whether it be on our own try line or their try line. So yeah, it's something that we can look forward to, and hopefully get behind.
But these things take time because there's a lot of new combinations, isn't there? I mean, the halves is completely different. Nene slotting in at centre, that's a little bit different. So there's going to be new relationships that are going to need to be formed. So it's probably going to take, 2 or 3 rounds before that type of thing, that telepathy really kicks in?
Yeah, like you say, it can only take time, but we've had a good pre-season of everyone playing together. We've got obviously Challenge Cup before round 1, so I know Roll said today we're going to go strong there, so we can obviously get more practice in against Workington in what can hopefully be some good conditions. So
unlikely.
Yeah, very unlikely.
Old school rugby.
Yeah. So hopefully we get a lot more practice that can only help us going into round 1 against Warrington.
Absolutely, and of course, one of your strengths really is your versatility, and I think that's going to be a positive because it is so stacked, Saints, this year. In terms of yourself being versatile, probably will get you more games than if you were just a player that slotted into one position. Would that be fair, would you say?
Yeah, well, obviously Rolls knows where I like to play, and I keep reminding him. So hopefully I play that loose forward, and he knows that's my favourite position, and not to play me anywhere else on the pitch.
Fair enough, and I'm sure he's took that on. But yeah, I mean, a massive hole left by Morgan Knowles. I mean, somebody like yourself coming into a club, let's say that you did get the number 13. I know you're not number 13, but you sit at loose forward. Yeah. Going into the footsteps of, let's be fair, a club legend. I mean, I actually felt Morgan last year probably had his best ever season at Saints. Talk to me about that. That's one hell of a challenge that you're going to be taking on there.
Yeah, it doesn't. I've not thought about that. I know, obviously, know.
Sorry, mate.
Yeah, I know what massive shoes I have to fill at playing 13 for St Helens. Obviously, like you say, he'd done it for 10 years at Saints, and last year was probably his best one so far. So yeah, I don't overlook the fact that how big of a player he was for Saints and what influence he had on the team. So yeah, I'm not overlooking that, but I'm not shying away from the challenge either.
No, and of course, like I say, we'll go back where we started. Wigan Saints this time with a Ved V. They're going to be special games this year. I think more so because I think genuinely, unlike perhaps the last 2 years, you now have a squad that really should be going and competing for the title this year, and that'll add a bit more spice to it, won't it?
Yeah, definitely. I've obviously got a lot of friends that play for Wigan. My best mate still plays for himself. Harry Smith. So he still plays for Wigan. I'm sure I'll get a lot of some stick off him this year. But like you say, our squad, there's competition for places all over the pitch, so that can only help us. And our squad is, I'd say it's a lot better than it has been in previous years, and that's only going to help us going into the season.
We've got to go there. Harry Smith. So if you're good mates with Harry, what was the banter like after the Hull KR Mikey Lewis incident last year? Was that good banter? We won't ask too much about it, but was it good banter?
What's that?
Where Harry just glanced.
Oh yeah, when he took the ball. I didn't actually watch the game. He showed me the clip actually. So
what did you say to him?
I can't remember, to be fair. I don't think I gave him too much shit, to be honest.
Oh yeah. What did you make of his sash?
Oh yeah, well,
he had to go, didn't he?
Yeah, it's something else, isn't it? I think he had a mullet at the same time actually. So.
And I'm going to Wigan tomorrow. We won't be putting this out until I've been to Wigan.
I think I'm seeing him tonight. So
yeah, just tell him that ad from Super League Rose on about your tash. I'll be seeing him tomorrow. Well, look, Joe, we wish you nothing but the best. I mean, it's nice that you've dropped on. Let's be fair, arguably one of the biggest clubs in the league. And as much as it pains me to say it, go well. But yeah, best of luck, mate.
Cheers. Thank you.
And here we are now with new to Super League, Jacob Host. Is Host?
Yeah, Host.
Yeah, Host. And welcome to St Helens. Welcome to the Betfred Super League.
Yeah, thank you. It's good to be here. I've been very welcomed to the club since I've been in the country, and I guess it's made that sort of transition easier than I guess other players come over might struggle, but the club's taking care of me and my partner, so it's made it quite a comfortable transition.
And that's massively important, because if you're happy off the field, you can be happy on it, can't
100%. That was like one of the first things that the staff off the field sort of explained to me when we were going through the process of signing, that if my missus is happy, that's really all that matters, because I'll be fine. I'm playing football and I'm with the boys most days, so make sure that she's comfortable, and then everything will sort of work.
Now, of course, some people who's watching this might not watch the NRL, especially now all the games over here are shown. Yeah. So people will probably watch a lot of Super League all of a sudden. Explain what type of game you've got and what you're going to be bringing to the Saints.
Yeah, I guess I just want to bring hard work, carry the ball strong, whether it's on an edge or through the middle, and I guess just strong defensively. I like to sort of go after it a bit in that aspect. But yeah, just just excited to play and build some combinations with the boys here. We've got a lot of new players that have come to Saints, and yeah, really can't wait to get out there with them.
See, I'd describe you as no nonsense. Would that be fair?
Yeah, I guess that's fair. No nonsense.
Yeah, you just get involved, get really stuck in. And second row, is that your favourite spot?
Yeah, second row is a favourite spot, but I guess like there's been a bit of sprinkling of middle there lately, and yeah, I'm just happy to be playing, to be honest.
Superb. And of course, the last 2 years, by Saints standards, they've not been as dominant as they were for the 4 in a row that they had. You're seeing these guys in training. We looked at the squad last week as part of our show, and it looks very, very stacked. Well beyond squad number 17. What's the mood in the camp under Paul?
It's very exciting. The mood in the camp, and obviously there's an understanding. There's a lot of competition for spots. Like you said, there's going to be some quality players that'll probably miss out week to week, but I guess that sort of holds everyone to a high standard. Talking to some board members in the last couple of days, they were sort of explaining that in the past couple of years, depth maybe was something that sort of hurt the team when the injuries come through, and then I guess they've sort of just gone through and addressed that issue straight away. I think there's a lot of quality across the park. Competition for spots is going to make sure everyone's sort of performing to their best each week, which I think is the best thing you can have, to be honest, because no one really feels comfortable. No one sort of just rests on what they've done. They want to keep performing to their best, and I guess what you saw on the weekend was sort of that first step. I thought it was a very strong game against Cass. And again, there was a lot of players that were sitting on the sideline that through injury or being rested didn't actually play in the game. So it's exciting times, and I just can't wait for the season to sort of get underway and get out there.
I mean, I look at that game against Castleford yesterday, and Paul in his press conference that he did at the club said, "You've asked for it, you're going to get it," in terms of free-flowing attacking style of rugby, which perhaps Saints haven't been for the last 2 years, been more defence-minded. And whilst defence, of course, wins games, that expression when you're in possession is what the Saints fans demand and what the league demands. And Paul will bring that, as he said, that's the type of style he wants. Go and express yourself when you've got your hands on your ball.
Yeah, 100%. He's explained that we're going to be throwing shape from pretty much anywhere, and I think we sort of saw that on the weekend as well. And the pleasing thing was, even though we were throwing a lot more shape, we completed a high percentage. I think it was over 80%. And then also we didn't lose any identity in the defence. The boys that played were getting after it and really sort of just putting the foot on the throat, so to say, defensively. And that's pleasing to see, because I think that's the worry. A lot of teams think that when you start throwing the ball around, the defence sort of goes to the afterthought, which wasn't the case at all on the weekend, and that's something that we want to keep doing going forward, which is exciting, because I guess the ball spreads around a bit more. You can expect to see more points on the board, and it's exciting type of footy to play. It's fun to be a part of. But yeah, Rolls has sort of said that we shouldn't be afraid of throwing the ball around, because you practice it enough, you're not really making any risk. It's something that you've done enough, so it's almost second nature, and that's what we've been doing in the pre-season, and it's pretty cool.
I mean, you mentioned their completion rate. One of the things I look for when I watch teams play is players on the shoulder in those attacking phases. You see time and time again, maybe a hook will dart from dummy half and nobody's there. What I saw against Castleford was willing runners throughout that game. And again, that bodes well, because if the line breaks come, there's going to be plenty of players either side for the pass to go out. Yeah,
for sure. And then I think you saw on the weekend, Wright scored 2 tries from pushing up in space, and that's what we've been working on throughout the whole pre-season. And it's it's nice to see it come out in the field. We obviously understand it's a first trial game, and it's a long year, but it's good to see the things you work on start coming out in the field.
Yeah, and finally, a player that we're hoping to see a bit more of this season that plays in the pack is young Noah Stevens. We think he's got a tremendous future in the game. These younger lads that you might not have known about before you came over, how impressed have you been with that young crop that's coming through for the future?
Yeah, it's been crazy. Obviously, when you're watching from back home, you don't understand sort of the intricacies of who's in and out of the team and plays in the squad, unless you're watching super closely. But yeah, everyone's been super impressive. Noah's been unbelievable this pre-season. And then you got the likes of George Delaney, who I think is probably going to be one of the best props in the game going forward. And then, yeah, they're fit, strong, big bodies. So it's pretty exciting. I was just in an interview just before saying that it's great, because it doesn't matter sort of who comes in, who goes out of the team. We know that everyone's going to get in and do a job with the competition of the spots, and then if there is any injuries that happen, there's that next man up mentality. It's pretty cliche, but like I think everyone can see that the squad has a lot of quality across pretty much every squad number. So it's cool to be a part of, and it's good because everyone pushes each other to work as hard as possible, and like you understand that you're only like a poor game or two away from being dropped out of the team. So it keeps you on your toes, and Rolls keeps you honest as well. We had a video session this morning. He only went through the first half and we're sitting in there for almost 2 hours. So he's very detail oriented, but I think that's what's going to get the best out of the squad, and I think it's great for the team. And yeah, it's just exciting times.
Incredible motivator. And then finally, you'll have heard of the Wigan St Helens derby, and those atmospheres are off the chart. Unfortunately, that's not your opening game, but it comes pretty close. You've got Warrington in the opening game away. Sam Burgess, of course, the South Sydney connection there. You're going up against Sam's Warrington Wolves. You'd have got a taste of a British atmosphere yesterday, but round one's going to be very special for you. You're looking forward to a packed Halliwell Jones and going, hopefully, from a Saints perspective, righting the wrongs, because we're on a bit of a winning streak against Saints at the moment.
Yeah, I have heard that. But yeah, it's exciting. Like I think there was almost 6,000 people at the Brewdog Stadium on the weekend, and the place was rocking with that amount of numbers. So I can't wait to see when it's a packed stadium. Obviously, we play away round one at Warrington, but I can't wait to have that first home game. I think every Saints fan is going to be there in numbers and doing all the songs and the chants. So it's pretty cool. It's something you sort of don't really experience in Australia. It's the passion over here is second to none, and I guess it's sort of the St Helens team it's like the pride of the town. And you have to understand that's the standard, and we want to be playing up to what everyone expects. And yeah, so playing in front of a home crowd in the second round is going to be unbelievable.
Now, before we actually started this interview, I was telling you about the Super League Raw Team of the Week and how competitive it is to get in that. Can we expect you to be in our Team of the Week?
Absolutely.
How many rounds before you make your debut in that one, do you think?
Oh,
I'll hold you to it.
If it's round one, that'd be unbelievable. Oh no, I've got to get in at least before round 5, surely.
Fair play. Well, tune in 8 o'clock every Tuesday, 8 o'clock on YouTube. Lovely to meet you.
Thank you.
Go well.
Thanks for having
me. Take care. And here we are now with Shane Wright. And Shane, another man who knows your coach very well. It must feel like almost a mini Salford St Helens this year.
Yeah, as obviously the coach, and then a few boys have come across now. So there's a bit of a Salford connection, and a few of the boys who've been at Saints for a few years have already given us a bit of lip about that. But no, it is nice. I had some very healthy and strong relationships with those boys who have come across. So no, it's good, and makes it a little bit more familiar.
For those, of course, who watch Super League Raw, Greg is behind the camera, like putting Greg on the spot. By all accounts, Greg said he could have scored the wide to right try last season. Not all you did was finish it off. Was that about right?
Yeah, that's about right. I was just in the right place at the right time. So I think everyone in the team touched it that night, and yeah, I just got the ball in the end. So all I had to do was put it down, basically.
You didn't really, but actually, what a try! I mean, what a try! And no matter what happens now in your career, as far as St Helens are concerned, that will probably last long beyond your playing days, won't it? So to have that little bit of history, it must be a nice thing.
Definitely, it was a very surreal moment. I was saying in some previous interviews that I've been on the back end of some probably bad highlights where I've been smashed by like George Tafur or something like that. So it's nice to be on the better side of a highlight, and that's something me and my family will cherish forever.
I mean, obviously we won't talk Salford, but I mean, for you to be now at Saints after all what happened last year, to actually get the opportunity of a starting shirt at Saints, it's a pinch moment from where you were halfway through last year, surely.
Yeah, it's massive. Obviously, halfway through last year, you're kind of thinking, am I going to continue playing rugby league? Like, how's my future going to hold up? So, no, but to be given an opportunity at a club like St Helens is where you want to be, I guess, especially over here in the Super League. So, I just got to hopefully take the opportunity with both hands and make the most of it.
And of course, the support of your families and all. I mean, people don't talk about that, but I mean, I can imagine as a family, the support that you'd have got to keep you going and to keep you positive must have been immeasurable. And the same for all those lads.
Yeah, for sure. Obviously, it's a little bit harder for us overseas boys sometimes. We're a bit far away from our family, but my family's pretty good with that. I might have a bit of a vent to them and a rant, but it's sort of just like get on with it and you'll be right. Like, you're very privileged and just keep trucking on and good things will happen.
When you got to Saints last year, it's fair to say that Saints at that point were struggling on the field. You know, combinations wasn't quite working. People were moving all the time. It felt from the outside looking in as if it was a match-by-match basis. You were trying to find something all the time. This season, with the new crop of players that have come in, Paul at the helm, does it have a different feel for you, the dressing room, than the one you inherited last year when you walked through the doors?
Yeah, it's obviously it's hard to say that I was only there for a short amount of time, but I think there's a little bit more clarity in position-wise, sort of thing. Like, don't get me wrong, I thought Wello, from what my experience with Willow, like I had a great experience with him, but obviously, yeah, they wanted a bit of a change. So, but no, I think Rolls has come in and he's given clarity to some of those boys, especially those outside backs and strike players, sort of thing. So, yeah, I think everyone knows their role at the moment, but more importantly, I think there's just a lot of depth and a lot of young boys coming through who are putting pressure on us sort of older boys in position. So, overall, it's a healthy dynamic and. I think it just puts us in good stead for a successful season.
You've obviously have a good relationship with Paul. Did you take the mick? Did he think he was Tom Cruise or something with that like launch video of him becoming Saints? It was a bit out there, that, wasn't it? I mean, did you take the mickey out of that?
Yeah. A few boys probably have got into him. I was when it got announced, I was actually I was just about to fly back to Australia, so I sort of just left it. But you probably just reminded me now, so I might have to bring it back up.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, I was expecting like Tom Cruise walking out in his Mission Impossible gear, and there's Paul. You're like, what's going on here? But outstanding. I mean, for you personally this year, I mean, look, we've said this to quite a few of the lads today. It feels like this is a Saints squad that should compete for the honours this year. It hasn't felt that way for the last couple. But this year, just from the outside looking in, it's a good squad. That who's caught your eye?
Like I was saying before, there's a few young boys who are just absolute freaks, and I think Rolls will do a good job at getting the best out of them. But it's going to be healthy for the season moving forward too, especially if you do really well in the Challenge Cup. There's going to be not a lot of time off, so you got to have a healthy squad with depth in it to probably compete. So, but yeah, I can't go past young Harry Robertson. What he did, his role in that try, I guess, was crazy. But no, he can just do freakish things, and obviously he's still very raw and very young. So I'm excited for what he can do this year, and yeah, we'll go with that.
International of the future, no doubt about that whatsoever. I mean, in terms of, we've seen a couple of you guys, the new starters for Saints this year, and there'll be people watching this that haven't seen them up close. It's fair to say, you've already got Alex Walmsley, you've got Matty Lees, but it's fair to, that is a big looking pack, isn't it, going into the new year?
Yeah, it's St Helens pack over the years is a pack you don't really want to come up against, but then you add I guess, yeah, as you just touched on Alex Walmsley, but then you got David Klemmer, who's just as big. It's just, I'm thankful I'm with them, not against them.
Yeah, and Jacob as well. Jacob's a big lad, isn't he?
Yeah, he's he probably catches people off guard, but when you see Hosty in person, he's a big boy. Yeah,
happy days. So look, we wish you nothing but the very best of luck. Who knows, there might be another White to Wright this year. Two yesterday, wasn't it, for yourself?
Yeah, I got lucky. Like I was saying, there's a few freakish outside backs, so all I got to do is support. So I think, yeah, Harry and Tristan put me away for a easier couple of tries.
Well, you could be on the score sheet quite a bit the way Paul plays, so it could be interesting to see how many you get this season. But on behalf of all of us, go well for the new season. Lovely speaking to you. Take care.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
So now we're here with new St Helens signing David Klemmer. Welcome to the Betfred Super League.
Thanks, mate. Excited to be here.
You're not excited about the weather, though. You were telling us earlier on.
I've accepted the cold, but the rain and the wind, all three together, it's not a good match. It's like a kick in the nuts. So the cold, you can deal with the cold, but all three, shocking.
Yeah, fair enough. But look, you're bringing lots of experience in, and of course, you're going to be wearing the number 13 that has been vacated by Morgan Knowles, a legend of St Helens. It takes big shoulders to go into that, but you'll be good, won't you?
Yeah, Morgs, he's had a wonderful career. Obviously different stature to myself and different sort of player. He's had a great career. He's going to do some big things over in the NRL. So it'll be great to watch him over there, and obviously myself coming here. I'll add my own sort of game and different style, but whatever roles and the team needs from me, I'll do it to my best.
I mean, you can play back or front, can't you? And I'd have to say you are ferocious. I'd go as far as to say that. I mean, Saints they'll get the benefit of that. But for fans that don't know you, I think they're gonna see somebody who's no nonsense straight down the middle, and you like the physicality of the game, don't you?
Well, that's part of being in the front row, and obviously playing with Leasy and the forward pack we've got. That's the standard they set, and why they had such success in their careers as well. So for myself to lace up against the boys with the boys, it's going to be awesome, mate. And we're going to work hard for each other and compete in every game. And mate, I'm just excited. There's some young fellas in there who are tenor at the bit as well, which is good to see. And young George, young Jake Wingfield, and Big Noah, the pitbull. They've been great. Competing and running and just keeping us on our toes as well. So, mate, exciting and just good to be here.
Seems to be a really good balance in terms of youth, experience, size, speed. Confidence must be high going into this season.
Yeah, mate. We've trained hard. We've worked hard for each other. I think there's nothing they can say that we don't work hard for each other and our work ethic. So we just got to gel together. And I thought on the weekend in that trial, our intent, especially as our whole side was in a good space, and something we can work towards. Is obviously we went through the game today. There's a lot we can fix up, which is good, leading into the season, and a couple of weeks away from round one, so we're excited, and get through this week and work and full work into the week after.
I have to say, Jacob was just saying it was a 2-hour debrief, and you won by a comfortable margin. Imagine what the debrief is going to be like when it's a close game.
Yeah, mate, that's probably the good thing in our group. Everyone's eager to learn and the fix up as well. So. Being older, been around a long time, still in there with my notepad, and everyone's, obviously taking notes and want to get better. And I think just the feel of the group and the club at the moment is obviously not touching on last year or the year before. Everyone's pretty disappointed on it as well. So, I think everyone's keen for a big year, and the way they go about things at training and around the club, they're in for a big year, and so it's exciting, mate. It's exciting. And
at this moment in time, sneak you on this one. Is it front row, back row? Where do you think you're going to play your most rugby this year?
Probably in the front row, or wherever the coach and the coaching staff or the team is best. Think I'm best suited. Whatever. I'm happy, mate. I know my strengths, and wherever I get named, I'll just do my job the best I can for the footy side, and. I think the boys will know what they'll get out of me anyway. So it's just going to be hard work and effort and whatever's needed.
And of course, in closing, a couple of familiar faces to you are playing over in Super League. We were over at Warrington last week, and Toff Sipley was there, and he was talking about group chats and going up against his mates in such as Sam Lazzoni, etc. Have you got any mates that are playing for other squads that you're going to be looking forward to battling once again, but this time over in this hemisphere?
Probably Zach Wolford. Me and him are pretty good mates, so we've had our run-ins when we do verse each other, especially back at home. He's probably a bit of a left field. We've got the same group of core of mates, so He's always into me. He's this annoying little bugger. So yeah, probably him.
Good player though.
Yeah.
He had a good year last year for Huddersfield. That'll be an interesting one. That's David and Goliath, isn't it? I would say.
Oh, he's just a little. Yeah.
Anyway, we won't go there.
Yeah.
But look, great to have you in Super League. We wish you nothing but the best of luck, and we'll look forward to seeing you in that opening game against Warrington at Halliwell Jones.
Thanks, mate.
Go well.
Appreciate it.
All the
Thank
best.
you.
Cheers. So here we are now with Tristan Sailor. Tristan, second season at the Saints. Looking forward to it, I presume.
Yeah, very exciting. I think we've had a tough pre-season. It's definitely been colder than last pre-season, so I think I've got a bit of that second pre-season syndrome. So ready to sort of get into games, and having Leesy's testimony on the weekend was a good start to that, because you're very close to starting. So very excited ahead of it. Obviously new staff, a lot of new players, and a new way of playing at the moment.
Does it feel different this year, St Helens versus last year? Because it was a trying year for you in 2025. I mean, from your perspective, what's the difference?
Yeah, there's a lot of excitement. I think we've already grown a lot as a team, and reflecting on last year, it was obvious none of us were happy with the year, and I guess even to finish where we did was pretty good considering the year we had. So to be 8 points off a grand final to the team that ended up winning it, to feel how much growth we've already had, I'm so excited, and I can't wait to get into it. But yeah, the new boys have embraced it, new coach, so new style of playing, and it's something that we're really looking forward to.
Yeah, I mean, obviously last year, if you keep your eyes on social media, probably best not to, I would say. A lot of nonsense on there. But in terms of yourself, it was all about where was your best position last year, and you played a multitude of positions. You started in the halves yesterday. Is that where you want to be this year?
I think it's looking like it, which I'm very happy with. I think started the year there, as you said, last year, and we're sort of getting comfortable in a way there. We had a few games where myself and us as a team didn't perform, and we got moved around, had injuries. So I think it's one of the things I've always found is that because I can play multiple positions, I tend to. But this year it's a real goal of mine to sort of lock down one position and be consistent there. And I think Rolls has sort of given us clarity about that from the start of the year, and we obviously got a glimpse of that on the weekend. And I think Jackson Hastings is going to be massive for us, because in attack, really, Jack and I just both play like fullbacks, so there's not too much difference, because Jacko's there to guide the team around and kick the ball, and it's something that'll be really important for us, and I guess important for me to find that consistency and be able to do what I did in some games every game.
I mean, we've got to be careful. It's only a pre-season friendly, but you're right. I mean, Jackson does manage the field really well, doesn't he?
For sure, and I think that's important is just having that sort of game manager and someone who can kick, because while we can all do it in little spurts, by we I mean me, Jack and Johnny last year, we're all have come through as fullbacks, played 6, so to have a pure 7 that just game managers, kicks the ball, is something to be really important for us, I think.
All of these players that have come in, they're genuine starting 17 contenders, aren't they? And then, of course, last year there was the emergence of the likes of Owen Dagnall as a perfect example. Underneath him, you've got the likes of Noah Stevens, who's still trying to break through. I mean, competition for places at Saints. I mean, I was saying to one of the other guys earlier on, we did a preview of Saints last week on our show, and I didn't realise just how far that depth went. I mean, it's all on, isn't it, to get into that 17 this year?
100%. I think it was funny. As we kept signing people, we realised that at training, you got 2 17s of Super League teams. Everyone in both 13s that verse each other could be playing Super League, and I think it's so important. 1, for us to sort of sharpen each other at training, but 2 is having that depth, because I think that's what you find a lot in this competition. There's so many games, there's so much wear and tear that depth is probably the key ingredient to being so successful, and it's so exciting when you see people, especially young boys, Owen Dagnall, Harry Robertson, Noah, as you said, George Delaney, they've all grown from last year, George Whitby, have all grown from last year. So to have that young talent, I guess with all the other talent we've mixed in, it's just going to be so exciting and really, really good for the year.
From the outside looking in, Saints last year, the big players, the players that would see themselves as part of the leadership group and to set a standard, the likes of Jack. It did seem last year that we're almost overplaying, almost taking too much responsibility. With so much talent though this year, probably less of that, I would say. Just concentrating, Jack, yourself, being able to just concentrate on what you're doing and not overplaying. Would that be fair?
Yeah, 100%. I think it's something that everyone cares so much, especially Jack, who's been here for so long, and you sort of had that turnover with Robes going Louis McCarthy, Scarsbrook. So therefore, you have those feeling that you got to step up and do something. And then they had a frustrating 2024 from what I saw and heard. And then obviously last year had its frustration. So I think it just makes people want to try harder, as we all did. And I think that's the perfect thing about this preseason is there's been a lot more of a relaxed environment. We're all really close. And then again, someone like Jackson takes that pressure off people like Jack and I, because all we have to do is run the ball and sort of do what we're good at. So I think it's definitely something that that you found is there's this relaxed environment that's been created, and we're all really focus on doing our role and doing it to the best of our ability.
And of course that'll come from Paul. You know, Paul's come in, and again, you know, a lot of not just St Helens fans, but I think a lot of Super League fans are really intrigued what a Paul Rowley St Helens will look like, and it would appear it's going to be an attacking style of rugby league that Paul's going to bring. As a player, that must, especially a player like you, that's music to your ears. Just go and express yourself every week.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's something that is quite obvious that we're going to do, and it's really exciting to me. I've been with Lee Briz, another proponent of it. At Broncos, we sort of played that style, but last year at St Helens, we tried to in patches, but I think when things went to trouble, Saints relied on their ID, which has won them so many trophies, and that was sort of just the belt teams in defence and sort of get the ball up there. And I think we're trying to find the perfect balance of that, keeping our defensive identity while bringing in Roll's style of attack. And I think with the personnel we've got so much danger. You got Harry Robertson, who's I think is going to win Young Player of the Year again this year. Off a big forward pack with the likes of our Walmsley, David Klemmer. So we're always going to be denting teams and then shifting the ball, which is really exciting to us.
Yeah, and again, last year, just going back to last year, it never felt like the spine was settled, did it? And I think Paul went out in one of the pre-season conversations that I saw with Paul, where he said for him it's vitally important that he picks that spine and he sticks with it throughout the season. So again, if you're starting at 6, that's a vote of confidence from Paul that, you know, he wants you to slot in there and make it yours for the season.
Of course, I think that clarity is so important, and he's been like that since day one with us. He has said that, and it's on us to be consistent enough to keep that job, because like you said, you got people like Johnny Lomax, George Whitby really breathing down everyone's necks, and that's such an important thing. So I guess to have that clarity and no confusion, and just to be able to focus on doing that job consistently is going to be so important to us, because when you look at our spine, you got Darryl Clark, England international, Jackson Hastings, former Man of Steel, Jack Wellesby, England international. So it's really exciting, and I think for us to be able to gel as well as we are and play with the team we've got, that it's going to be so important to our season.
I think Jack's very dangerous, especially with what happened at the Ashes. He wants to be at that World Cup, and he wants to prove some people wrong. I want to end this interview just by talking though to you, because I think we like at Super League Raw, we like to really get into the players in terms of what goes on, you know, upstairs. And last year, great start for you, you know, tries are plenty against Salford. And then, like I say, there was the question about where do you sit and all the rest of it. And there was a lot of outside noise where you were concerned. As a professional athlete, just, you know, I'm interested in this, and I'm sure people that watch our show will be interested in this. Are you aware of that? And if you are aware of that, how do you handle it? You know, where's your go-to place to just make sure that you stay positive and keep moving forward?
Yeah, definitely. It is really hard. I think I'd obviously just moved over here and stuff like that, and sometimes it's hard to avoid. I think you have people commenting on your photos, messaging you, and obviously all professional athletes are trying to do the best they can. So yeah, it's obviously difficult. I think I'm able to deal with it better than some people would, and I'm sometimes more grateful for that I cop that slack than other people. But yeah, I think there was lots of mixed reviews to my season last year, and I guess that's the goal, is just to be consistent, where the things I was doing against some teams, to do it against every team, and you give no one any excuses to come at you, even though they probably are going to. But in the end, it's our job, and I guess that's something that comes with the job. It is hard to avoid sometimes, but in the end, you just got to sort of knuckle down and just keep working hard to prove them wrong.
Well, I mean, we're into the detail, and at the end of the year, we pick a team of the year, we do team of the month, etc. Statistically speaking, you had a good season. And that seemed to have got lost for me. I mean, statistically, against, you know, the likes of Lockie Miller and the likes, you were right up there. So I just felt it was a bit odd that you didn't get the praise that you deserved in 2025. So I think it's only right and fitting that we give you that praise now. So I think well done on a good debut season, and we wish you well for the new one, mate.
Thank you very much. Very refreshing to hear.
Take care. All the best.
there is a clear confidence about the Saints going into the 2026 season. There is no question we're about to see a more attacking and expansive style under Paul Rowley. Saints fans will be looking forward to their senses being filled once again with pace, power, style and flair at the Brewdog Stadium. Will St Helens Rugby be winning again in 2026? Well, we'll just have to wait and see.